Welcome to Numb Bills Fan Podcast, number 165. I'm your host, David Palermo. This podcast is brought to you by numbbillsfan.com. If you don't already, get to numbbillsfan.com to get everything Numb Bills Fan. If you want to support the Etsy store, get onto the Etsy store, the Numb Bills Fan Etsy store. Buy a shirt. There's new memorabilia going up there as we speak. Just taking some pictures. Got to list it. Some listings I slipped up and forgot to relist. Therefore, new stuff coming soon. And you can always find all of our content on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We'll all link you back to subscribe on iTunes or wherever you find your podcasts. And don't forget, brought to you by Punch Drunk Sports. And we are the podcast that covers the Bills' behalf of Punch Drunk Sports. So, three comedians, Ari Shaffir, Jason Tebow, and Sam Tripoli. And Sam Tripoli is a wizard with podcasts. I love his podcast. The latest one I'm really into is called Tinfoil Hat Podcast. It's really awesome. If you don't already listen to Punch Drunk Sports, you're missing out if you like good sports coverage. Ari Shaffir has a special on Netflix called Double Negative. Great dude. We'll get into it later, but my friend Jeff Knight is on the line, as you saw in the title, and him and I went out to see Ari Shaffir years back, and I still believe that he's the best comedian I've ever personally seen. And he was nice enough to personalize the CD he autographed for me, saying pretty much fuck the TSA, which is cool. And don't you giggle back there, Jeffrey.
Sorry, he personalized my record too.
What did he say in yours?
It said, "To Jeff, you're my soft A N-word."
Okay.
So
he kept it soft.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ari's awesome. I love his comedy. And lastly, Jason Tebow. I mean, come on, the T. We had him on previewing Atlanta and the Bills. And no matter what, he will always be on that podcast with Punch Drunk Sports. He's always the host. He's a big deal with DirecTV's Red Zone channel. He is Andrew Siciliano's ear, so all the information goes to him. He has an in on a lot of things. So as much as they might have dick jokes and whatever the hell and just really cut it really raw and real, they have a general good idea about what's going on. So as always, check them out. And if you don't already, follow Grandstand Sports Network. That's a network that got me, myself, and I on the sidelines in training camp, which is pretty cool to have a good perspective. So this podcast right now is finally getting started. And for me, it was a big feat for myself because I had a video go viral. Is that technically it, Jeff? Would it be viral if it was posted on NFL Network with LT talking over it?
And I think so.
Yeah.
I still gotta see this. I guess I still gotta see this video.
Oh, you haven't even seen it?
Well, I think I saw the one that you posted, but I didn't see it like with like LT, with LT, and talking about it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I Joe Larkin actually sent that in, so it's Joe Larkin sent that in to the DM, so shout out to him. And then somebody else sent me a link to SB Nation. I forgot his name. Sorry, bud. And Joel Thompson actually shot me something with Yahoo taking the clip, and it's just so like surreal. I had to get pictures for the moment. There was a time where I'm like, am I gonna be that lazy? Yeah, my gloves are wet. Yeah, life sucks. But like, am I gonna be too lazy to take out my phone and tell somebody else's kids? 'Cause I have no kids. Tell somebody else's kids like how cool that was. Are people really gonna give a shit?
I took a picture myself.
Were you in it?
To. No. I don't do selfies.
Let's talk about the prep. I'm going to dive in. So I had this amazing discovery in my closet the other day. And this podcast, just saying, if you're looking for an X's and O's podcast, I have Kevin Masseri coming up. He was going to be on with us last week. We couldn't link up. But tomorrow or Wednesday, we will be together. And we're going to break down whatever analytics you think you could pull from a snow game, I guess. There's coaching decisions to talk about, which we'll dive into. So the way this show is going to work out today is here's the format. I'm going to talk through the day of getting prepped. Jeff's going to talk as well, interject. And we had a very interesting day with interesting friends the whole way. Just getting ready for the game, having it be in Rochester, having it be nice, and then getting stuck at 5555 20A. Randy, the parking god, wasn't there, but Wolverine let us park there. Shout out to Wolverine. And, he let us out. And yes, I'm saying Wolverine because he does Wolverine at Comic-Con because he's the truth. And so he helped snowball us out and get us out of there. And he, we got stuck in the driveway. We'll get into all that. And we had a long drive home. I actually took the throughway, which was really clear, but 219 was a disaster and had no clue how bad it really was. Kind of figured, these are Buffalo fans. This is it. And, for our friend Paul to have an offshoot comment in the video that even by Buffalo standards, this is pretty damn awful, essentially. It was crazy. And so to start off my day, the other day, it starts off a few days back, I'm like looking for some stuff. I found some extra Bills gear in a closet, and I was like, wait, I have snowmobile gear. I have snowmobile pants that I bought at a snowmobile show, and I have snowboarding jacket and snowboarding boots, brand new 32s that I bought, and had them heat shrink to my feet. And I forgot that 4 years ago, Jeff, I bought a snowmobile and sold it, and it was a mint snowmobile too. It was a Rev listed as a Rev 550, but I think those are secretly higher. So bigger engine displacement than what they advertise for insurance reasons. So, it was a good sled to have, very clean. And for you nuts out there with machines, there was no trailer salt on it. And it was such a nice sled, and I got it for a good ass deal, but it was such a nice sled that I could just not open trailer it. I had to get in a closed shower or the thing's going to be just ruined. So I'm like, okay, screw that. Well, last year, I froze my ass off at the Cleveland Browns game and at the Dolphins game. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's not happening this year. It's not happening. And then I opened my closet, and just as quickly as I felt relieved to see the snowmobile gear, I felt just as stupid that I forgot I had it. And I came prepared. I came in that prep. I had my overpriced $40 Bills gloves I bought, the Under Armour ones I was going to wear. Those got soaked. So before all that stuff got soaked, everybody, I'm all prepped. Tim Avery comes over. He comes over a little bit early, and we shoot the skinny for a bit. Him and his lovely lady drove out together, followed us up, and we had a good drive up. It wasn't too bad. Even the driveway going up wasn't bad. But so, Jeff, how was your drive to my house? How was the van ride? Did you under-prepare, overdress? What did you think leaving the house? What were your expectations?
Well, I thought the game was going to start snowing in the second half. So I I got my long underwear on. I just wore jeans, long underwear, flannel socks, boots, and then I just layered up. I had a long sleeve, a hoodie. I had to rock the JP the Truth Lossman jersey. Never had a fair chance. And then the Carhartt jacket with your crowbar hat, which I think I left in your van. So I'd like to borrow that one more time this year, maybe. By
the way, speaking of leaving stuff in the van, Dean allegedly left his wallet somewhere in my van.
Dean, he got so banged up at the end of that game, on the car ride home.
We'll get into Dean for a teaser later. Because it's the only way I can get through the Dean is to threaten his life, and I hate it. You know what I mean? I have tried to cause physical harm to him before. So it's we have a track record, and by the end of it, we're hugging each other. Love your brothers. Your girl's driving, right? Yeah, she's driving. Okay, good. Now get the fuck out of here. But, no. All right, so what were you saying? Something about a car ride?
So layered up. I'm usually the first one there at your house. It was, I guess Tim Avery's more punctual than me. So, I got there, shoot the shit with Tim for a little bit. Then he said he had to go to get gas at Hess. And then talked to you for a little bit. And then soon after, I think Jake and Paul showed up around the same time. And then Dean maybe 2 minutes after them. We all got there pretty close to when we wanted to go.
And so we had our friend Jake Short come. And Jake's a good dude, man. I like Jake. Really funny. And because last game, funny story, last game I took him and Anthony Hayward. And if you know Anthony, that's Tugboat MC. You know, ask him, he's famous, and he'll tell you. And he's like, it's a hilarious car ride when he's involved, like just hilarious. So Jake lost his season ticket card from the lot behind the field house all the way to the gate, and he called me like 10 times a few games ago. And I'm like, dude, I'll be there. You know, we were rolling in late. I'm leaving Rochester late. And long story short, he never lost the card. He was just so, like, annihilated. And you could tell when he's annihilated because his face is, like, so, like, cherry red. It's so cute. And he's, like, blasted. So I'm like, dude, man, like, check it. Like, I really don't drink much. I don't really like to drink. And he's like, you know, he's like, you know, maybe it's in my wallet. And I go, okay. So we open up his wallet, and there's a season ticket card. And then Hayward loses the card, and we're sitting there and sitting. Can you believe Jake, man? Can you believe Jake? You know, during the whole game. Can you believe Jake, like, almost lost that card? Oh, my God, dude, I don't know how he loses it in, like, a quarter of a mile walk. I really, not even. Like, how does this happen? You know, like, I did not understand, right? So then you got Sloth, and, you know, Paul, I should say Sloth. Paul, I have in my phone as Sloth. So yeah, Paul, you know, if anybody knows Paul we carry, the self-proclaimed boss. You know what I mean? He's again just as good as Evan Hayward, just very entertaining. In fact, they used to be roommates, and it's a fun fact. And they had a rap crew called Neon King Kong. Don't ask about the name, but they had sweet shirts. So, look, great crew rolling up. Couldn't wait. Paul's always entertaining. You know, you and I were shooting this skinny about some stuff. So we had a great time. Dean was there with his babysitter, a.k.a. his girlfriend. And, you know, cookies were passed around that Stephanie brought. And
yo, Stephanie can cook, man. Like, the cookies are dope. And then we went to Dean's house for that one game. That chili was mad good, too.
Mm-hmm. And she knows how to steal my heart. And because then it's like, you know, then I feel like bad when later I have to mentally abuse Dean to get any results out of him. And I had to tell her, like, in the van when nobody's in there, like, sorry, I had to, like, talk to Dean like he's a piece of shit. But sometimes he is a piece of shit. You know, like, you know, when it's fitting. Anyway, so we roll into this game. We have a pleasant drive. We park, go see our boy Riley at the tailgate. And then we're walking in. And, you know.
Well, when did it start snowing? Because I feel like it was pretty much clear all the way till we got to the Randy the parking god's house, and then I feel like even the walk to the mud lot, I feel like it wasn't that bad yet.
Right, and you know, I was almost wondering if maybe I overkilled it wearing that snowmobile outfit a little bit. I was kind of thinking, like, maybe, and I'm like, I'm not risking it. So I don't know. I think it really started. I felt like we just like walked. I felt like the stadium was like the center of the storm. Like that was like we were walking to a storm.
And you couldn't. Yeah, when we were walking to the stadium, you really couldn't see it until you were literally like right on top of it.
Right, and we skedaddled past a bunch of people, right in line, got through the layers, and then they were giving away scarves. And this is where Paul and I were together, and we got separated from you because I had to go to the ticket box again. So
yeah.
It was so funny because I do the thing with where whenever they give shit away, I go get like 3 of them because I'll like go to one guy, go to somebody else because I don't feel bad. Fuck that, man. $85 a ticket times 3, and I'm like already losing like $100-something because I'm telling my friends like, hey man, you want to come? Well, I'm not paying $85 when they're getting sold for 18. I go, donate what you can. Just fucking come. You know, like, that's where I'm at with these tickets. And it's like, nah, man, I'm getting my damn made in China goddamn scarves that have Kaleida Health sponsored on it. There you go, Kaleida Health. Those
scarves will become pretty crucial later on in this whole story, too. It's a little foreshadowing.
Yeah, so stay tuned if you're 1436 into this. So, real cliffhanger. But no, I'm getting mine, and Paul actually got denied. The guy's like, no, you already have one. And I was like, he saw one hanging out of his pocket. It's like, you know, I would bet you the owners would be like, yo, give that guy a damn freaking scarf, okay? And, you know, so I lost track of you, but I'll tell you what I did. up until the first Bills drive. I walk in, I end up going to the bathroom or something, and lose Paul, kind of refill my coffee or my mug. I brought my mug in, and I got it filled up. And I ended up just taking my time, putting my ski mask on. Like, we were walking in, and I brought a ski mask. And by the time we were walking up on the ramp, I was telling Paul, I'm like, I have this sort of ski mask thing that almost looks like the dude from Futurama, the metal guy. I forgot his name, drawing a blank right now. And yes, it looks like Bender. And I got that Bills one. It has Bills, and it looked like I got the Bender hat on, or just my eyes are coming through, right? Like or X-Men Cyclops type look, And so my eyes are just coming out, and it's got like the nice little channel, and you got your mouth and stuff open too, I guess. So not really like Cyclops. I guess I'm wrong. Anyways, if you're still following along with this dumb story, I was walking up telling Paul, I'm like, man, good thing I have my ski mask that's meant for blizzards in my pocket right now, because I'm saving it in case it gets any worse. So I decided I'm going to stand there in front of this spot that I got the coffee, and I'm going to really dress up, because my first scarf was already soaked. My gloves were already soaked by the time we walked in. Somehow, from that walk, all of our shit was soaked, dude.
Yeah.
And then I went to the stand, and I thought I was ready to go to buy new gloves, and this dude was taking forever. And I literally missed a timeout. I did not get into the stadium until the Colts got the rock. And it might have been after that, actually. So, by the time I got out there, I was proud. I'm like, screw this, man. I am not. Buffalo winner is not winning, dude. And I fucking came prepped, man. I didn't lose. I did not lose. I walked in with my Nike ACG boots, and I had my unwalkable at the time, which I walked out in them, ski boots, snowboard boots on, because they're like really stiff.
Yeah, you brought an extra pair of boots with you.
Mm-hmm. I know. Smart play, man.
Yeah, man.
So I wore those snowboard boots. I was warm as a bitch. That said, I had to keep drinking warm fluids, which caused mad peas, which another cliffhanger. So, where were you the first quarter? How'd your walk-in go? How was your experience?
Well, we were all at the tailgate. We did our pregame shotgun. Me, Dean, Jake did it. I think Sloth did it, and then Glenn did it also. And then I go over to P. Oh, first of all, shout out to Casey and Colton. They also did it. We saw them.
And then I went to go Steve Gotch.
Oh yeah. Then I went to go pee, and then I turned around, everybody's gone. So I started walking hard, and I see Dean and Steph, and I kind of like run to catch up with them, and then we usually when it's probably like 12:30. That is a pain in the ass to get in, but a lot of people didn't come out, so we got in pretty quick. I got my scarf, went pee, and then I actually got to the seats right around the time, right before the national anthem. Didn't take the hat off this time. It would have been too big of a hassle to put it back on. So I was actually, I saw tried to see most of the game. The first wasn't really visible.
Yeah, it was horrendous. That's when I got most of my early photography before I had to put the thing away. My screen was soaked on the front.
The game itself wasn't that memorable except for a few key moments, but like the whole experience. So I don't think there's been a game like this snowy since the last time we played the Colts. And I actually had season tickets that year too, but I pussed out that game and didn't go. So it was cool to experience a super crazy snowy game like this.
That's true. And that year I was going to a lot of games, and that one I was like, I'm not gonna go. I decided because that year I probably went to like 6, that I just maybe at least 5.
In hindsight, I wish I went because that was probably I never got to see Peyton Manning play, and we actually beat him that game. So
true. Okay. So first quarter, game wise, what the hell's our kicker's name? Was on New England.
Vinatieri?
Yeah, that dude. He missed his kick. And I'll be honest, the Bills had a nice, 10-play drive right out the gate. And
that kick looked ugly too. It was super wobbly.
Nothing in the air there was probable. And one thing I don't understand is this, okay? It's super like, oh yeah, they can't bring the snowplow on the field, or they can't use the thingy to take out the spinny wheel, brush wheel, because last time they did it at the Steelers game, they took out all the black pellets, right? I still think they should have a grass goddamn field with metal coils underneath it. Like, stop. Let's get real here. It's not, I don't know. Well, it's maintenance. So too bad. I mean, these players are getting hurt on these surfaces that are not natural. So anyways, that's another story. Look at it. They have snowblower or guys with these Echo. I know the brand from doing landscaping, with these Echo blowers on their back, right? And it's the backpack blower, and they're blowing off the yard lines and the sidelines, or whatever lines you can get, as you saw. And I'm thinking in my head, like, I know very well Home Depot's return policy. And if you're not satisfied with the fucking product, you can return it. And there have been many things I have not been satisfied that I've returned. And I might have known a guy, not in this conversation, that for like a consecutive 3 falls would rent a leaf blower and return it until they bought a vacuum that has a detachable leaf blower. Made by Rigid.
That's a power move right there.
Right. And, and you get your $300 back, right? Well, never mind that the Pagulas have billions. Why the fuck wouldn't you make, being a hockey owner too, a Mighty Duck Flying V, right? With like 10 dudes. And you have like 10, 20, 30, 40. They would each cover about a yard, okay? So like one guy per yard. So you would need 120 people. No, 140 people to execute this, right? There's plenty of people in the stadium. I'm sure there's enough Home Depots to give you some good goddamn leaf blowers, and you continuously just blow it to the sidelines or up. You know what I'm saying? Like where it's like wide enough, where you have a leader and then the next guy kind of keeps pushing it. You follow what I'm saying here? It's like I think it can be done. All right, I think it carry out a goddamn American flag. All right, get that many people, but with leaf blowers. I'm dead fucking serious. Yeah, just start somebody on the 50 and just hit one big triangle from end to end. Just blow this fucking shit somewhere. Like, well, is it that hard?
The problem is though, the U.S. Army pays the NFL to play the bring out that giant American flag. So you need like Toro or whatever company with a leaf blower company to sponsor the NFL to get your system to work.
I'm just saying, if you return the shit to Home Depot. Put in a special order and be like, yeah, not satisfied. My bad.
Just returning 100 leaf blowers.
Oh, goddamn, you give them away to the fucking people who need them. How about this? We have a bunch of money, yeah? We need 140 leaf blowers that are $300 a pop because they're the backpack blowers, right? Okay. Well, how about you give me a deal and we get them for like $240? Sounds good. And then what do? You got to pay people to use them. They're going to freeze their ass off. You give them the goddamn leaf blower, and then you write it off as a business expense, and then you still get like 30% off. So what are we talking here? You're getting free labor out of this shit, and even if you pay them $25 an hour, which is equivalent of 50 hours a week to $50,000 a year, 40 hours I should say, 50 weeks a year, $50,000 a year. Easy math, right? 25 an hour. So they stand there. They get a ticket to the game, and they get to use this leaf blower thing and take it home to mom and dad or to their own house with their family. And it costs you like $100. So I'm easily like not that much money on 100 times $100. That's not really that bad, dude. That's what I'm saying. The logistics, man. My TVs are still broke, dude. You ever notice that? You go to the one stand by the secret bathroom, and there's 3 TVs and 2 of them are broke, and you've had all year to fix this shit. Yeah. Like, are you fucking kidding me? And like, whose bright idea is it to have the sugar outside? Like, come on here. Can we have a bigger sugar, like, coffee stand I'm sorry I don't drink alcohol. I don't want to be an arrogant asshole. I'd rather talk it out on a podcast. You know what I mean? Like, that we could broadcast to thousands instead of fucking one. And that's myself, you know? So, dude, drunk thoughts, man, they're the worst. Anyway, so first quarter goes by. Really, you know, Bills doing their Bills thing. There was one drive in this game, by the way, where I'm going to get into it, Kevin. LaShawn McCoy has like 2 very long runs, and then Tolbert comes in, and the drive just sucks. I was like, don't you not get that LaShawn McCoy knows how to get skinny in certain situations or is actually getting traction in the snow? And then fast forward to Tolbert just knocking someone over, like, ooh, and then he fumbles a rock, and then we don't see him. So, I mean, what were your thoughts on the Tolbert?
Well, honestly, I don't even remember that play happening until I just watched the highlights. So I may have been in the bathroom, but, like, it's typical drive killer Jones fashion. You know, the first time he actually gets, like, a run that's more than 5 yards, of course he's going to fumble it. I don't understand why, like, they put so much faith in this guy when we have a Hall of Fame running backer, and the two guys or 2 backup running backs before him were way better, and we decided to cut one of them. Or cut both of them, but
dude, I'm telling you, man, like this last podcast you listened to, and I talk coaching decisions, and this was another glaring goddamn game where coaching decisions came in, and honestly, man, the thing I'm worried about with this guy and any new coaches, they don't realize what they're stepping into in Buffalo. They do not realize that, hey, guess what, stupid? We've seen this before. We've seen guys got rosters. We've seen guys come in and talk this culture bullshit. And the latest thing the Bills are on, no disrespect, is talking faith. Faith-based, man. They had Darryl Strawberry in there, and he's talking about faith. And this is, you know, I get that, dude. I get that. That's neat, okay? And that's positive. I get it. But, like, these are grown fucking men. They have a job to do. They need to be encouraged. When you want to put in Nathan Peterman, whether that's a call from you or the top, when the Bills are in playoff position and you got vets like Kyle Williams and Eric Woods in that locker room that you got to look in the face and tell them this is a good decision, and the kid falls on his face, and you as a coach, you guys are supposed to know a lot more than we do.
Yeah, and we're 5-4 at the time. It's not like the season's over. We would have at that time. We were in the playoffs.
Yep.
You know.
And when called on Tolbert, you know what he said, McDermott, a few weeks ago. He goes, you know, and we're very capable. We know what Tolbert brings. We're very capable of knowing. You know, we know.
You know,
he's very capable.
We haven't seen this here. We saw it with Jonathan Williams, and he was effective.
We saw it with Tavares Cadet, who's primarily a route running receiver, and he makes it happen. We're seeing LaShawn McCoy make it happen. If you listen to Eric Wood. Very great interview. And by the way, I don't know if you agree with this, Jeff. Actually, you do. Shob and Bulldog nailed it post-game show on the way home.
They're growing on me, man. I used to hate them, but dude. I think I like how they. I mean,
they're a more mature. They're for like the next level sports fan. I think where it's like, all right, dude, we've seen this before. Now, what are you doing different? What are you showing me? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, and there's no secret. There's a bunch of dummies that like the Bills. And they handle them very nicely. So it's almost worth listening to just for the ego crush.
Jeff has been waiting, audience out there, for months. And it's like so ironic that I even do a Bills podcast with Deacon before Jeff, honestly. It's just weird how it worked out. But, like, you know, crazy enough, Jeff, just I love talking to you, and you couldn't wait to come on a while back so you could crush the fans. And there really are some stupid-ass people. And, you know, people might harass me that I don't interact with people that much on social media. And it's like, this is my way to interact. If you really have something good to say, get a hold of me. I'll gladly have you on there. Like, because it's worked out. We've had James Bornholm from Indy, come on, and Kid gives a better breakdown than most people I know. And he came in prepared breaking down the Bengals game, you know. I think that's what it was. No, Carolina. And, you know, then I have my friend Jamie Kreider on, who's at the game in LA. It's like China's just trying to get like a real perspective of what's going on. And on a side note, Jeff, I went to the Thurman Thomas charity event Friday. and it was like really rad. Kyle Williams was there, I believe. Yeah, Nick O'Leary was definitely there because I saw his name.
Blew it.
I blew it. I was gonna ask Nick O'Leary. I could not. I didn't even take a picture with Thurman Thomas, dude. Like, I just put myself there, and I was like, Jim Kelly showed up. I guess Tasker showed up. I think. I don't know. I don't think I saw him, but I wasn't really looking. But great food. Patty Thomas did a killer job. Like really setting that up. And don't worry, I'll get back into the game. But on a side note for that Thurman Thomas charity event, I didn't know what to do. So I bought the 2 tickets, made a donation on the website when I purchased the tickets, and then I got a gift card to Toys R Us for the kids because it's a family first, doing it for the kids kind of thing. And
you're like ODB.
Yeah. So check this out. You'll love this. I think I might have told you this, but so I didn't know what to do. I've never gone to one of these functions, and I had a reminder email from Patty about, hey, here's your tickets, yada, yada, yada. Okay, sick. So, like, I've never had any interactions with her before, but I said, hey, I was going to actually send you a message anyways about what to wear, but I was also sent, like, an extra ticket. I don't need anybody to go, and I don't need a refund. It's fine. But I accidentally purchased 3 tickets. But, so, anyways, I get there, and I get this. I didn't know, like, that I'm not supposed to put anything in a card. So, I had, like, this Toys R Us card inside of like a card with puppies, pretty much saying like happy holidays, and I get to the card slot to put it in the box, and it's like only like credit card size wide, like a little bit bigger, and I'm like, fuck. So I started like bending this card, and I started bending it like the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think I might have almost folded the card in half, like the actual plastic Toys R Us gift card in half. So I immediately stopped, caught myself, and twisted the other way and shoved it in there. And then on the way out, I told him, I might have been Thurman Thomas's kids that's like helping out. I don't really know. I think so. I think it was his son, maybe. And because I was like, when I got there, I'm like, hey, I don't know how this works. They're like, yeah, we don't know either. We were just told to show up. I'm like, cool. Like, but then on the way out, I was like, hey, man, tell whoever's in charge, sorry about this card. Don't mean no trouble. I just, I don't know what to do with this. So, I had a good time. It was really laid back. They had some cool giveaways and raffles. It was great seeing all the memorabilia that was up for auction. I got to get the pictures up on Instagram. It was cool. It was really laid back. But it's one of those things where I don't want to approach Nick O'Leary and let him know that I've been hammering the table for Raw Dog. Like really, if I was gonna hammer just like a nice just that. Dude,
hurt. He could have changed his Twitter handle to Raw Dog O'Leary after that conversation.
Dude, I don't know, man. He seems like a classy gentleman. His grandfather's a golfer, the best ever, and it's like, I don't know. He's been raised with some class, dude. Like, he might not have been raised in like odd goddamn corner of Lyle and State Street and Lake Ave like I was. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't think I don't think we. So I might be more of a hard ball buster, but then again, maybe he is a ball buster. I just don't know. It's really hard for me to like be a dopey asshole and try to take myself serious at the same time.
Yeah, I see where you're going, but.
It's coming. It's coming, man.
Yourself with if you ever see Mike Tolbert, you'll redeem yourself if you just call him Drive Killer Jones.
I'll tell you what, man. After he made that hit, you and I were like, all right, this is Mike's game, baby. This is Mike's game. So let's pick up right from there. So Tolbert fumbles the ball, actually. So
that's in the third. We didn't even talk about the second.
Yeah. So Nate Peterman, not a bad job. LaShawn McCoy, love LaShawn McCoy. LaShawn McCoy, you just hand him the rock. He will just make it happen. He'll figure it out. He'll just figure it out.
Like $160 or $150, $150, $160, and I thought it was way less than that. But he busted that one, the 2 big ones. But
he's
it surprised me when I saw that he got 150 yards.
Yeah, it was crazy. He went for 156 on 32 carries, 4.9.
That's the most carries in his career, so that's part of it.
Yeah, long of 25. They gave him that run. I thought it was a long of 24. But Nate Peterman, I gotta say, 5 for 10, 57 yards, 1 touchdown. Hey, him throwing the ball, I gotta say, Nate Peterman didn't fall on his face for you don't really throw him many times. He wasn't in long, but Hey, I like what I saw from Peterman. I'll give him credit. He was throwing a very nice ball when you saw the replay, especially. He was throwing a very nice ball with some good spiral in those conditions, like for real. And, you know, what a work of art in front of our section, right there, in front of 331. There is just, you just see Calvin Benjamin just reach out for the ball on the sidelines a couple times and the touchdown.
Well, it seemed like it was the same play almost, right?
Yeah.
Both the sideline and then the end zone?
Yep. And I believe that actually came when, I think that was the same drive, I could look it up, where, I think that was the same drive, actually, where, that I was talking about, where Tolbert came in and it just kind of like killed the drive off of LaShawn McCoy's nice, you know what I'm saying? Like nice runs. Yeah. So, yeah, LaShawn McCoy up the middle to Buffalo 20 for no gain. LaShawn McCoy, right tackle push out of bounds at the 43 for 23 yards. And then he ran for another 25 yards. And then Tolbert runs for 3 yards. And then says Nate Peterman spiked the ball to stop the clock. Okay. And then we got a nice pass to Calvin Benjamin, which is beautiful. And that was, I mean, right on the Indianapolis 8, 21 yards. And, you know, you get to see Calvin Benjamin stretch out for a ball. That's something since I've been a season ticket holder. There hasn't been a receiver that I've seen like really, I mean, Sammy Watkins, I will say, Sammy Watkins is very impressive. But, like, the length of the receiver is what I'm talking about. We're like, he is so beautiful the way he goes up.
Too when he keep his toes in also, you know?
Maybe it's just I haven't seen anybody in Buffalo of that stature. Do you know what I mean? Like, he is just so fucking long. He is like, and you know what? I take that back. Charles Clay does a nice extension too, but, like, his style is just like a work of art. Like he gets his feet in, like he's just like another day at the office, dude. Like he's just putting cream and sugar in his coffee. You know, it's just like, and for Nate Peterman to throw that there, I don't know if Tyrod would. You know, I gotta say, I don't know if he would, and I'm just glad the Bills came out of this. You know, so you know, so you get the touchdown. Great throw by Peterman. Calvin Benjamin. What were your thoughts on Benjamin in that transaction before we get to the third and the Tolbert fumble?
Oh, I mean, I was for the Benjamin thing. I was super pumped because I thought it was one of those games where it's 6-3. I mean, it kind of was, but I didn't even think we were gonna score. Just the way things were going. But then we had those two nice passes on the sidelines. Yeah, so I almost thought 7 points at that point might be enough to win.
Now, how was your temperature? How was your temperature? Second quarter. How are you feeling?
Second quarter, I'm still okay. I'm still okay.
Are you still drinking beer, or did you decide to go to anything warm?
No, dude. You know me. I'm too cheap to buy a $9 beer.
Okay.
I drink my beer beforehand, hit my one shotgun, and then I'm done.
Okay. So halftime, and then I see you in the third quarter at some point. I think we watched the Tolbert fumble together, didn't we?
I don't remember it. I don't remember that play.
That's right. I forgot I had this conversation with you about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Third, well, I got a text from Sloth too in the
Yeah, Sloth bailed like halfway through the first quarter. I get him on camera. Him on camera goes viral, pretty much saying, which I should just find it, which I'll not find right now. Pretty much saying like, this weather is ridiculous for even Buffalo standards, with an F-bomb somewhere in there, which I don't know how I phrase it. I'm not going to do justice. I'm not going to try. And then he like gets up and goes to the bathroom or something. And then he says his side of the story, which we could have called him, but my battery's running low. So another time, his side of the story was like he went out to go pee and then get a beer or something. And
he like 3 beers, I feel like.
Well, he did, but like, he ran into people he knew and started watching it on the TV, and then like he says he was there like all the way through the third. And it's like, yo, I'm leaving.
He texted around. I feel like he texted around the halftime and saying, "Let's go," and then my phone died. So that's one of the reasons why I went down to sit with you.
And I saw Dean and in the bathroom, and he brought up a good point. He's like, and his face is all like red, and he's unprepared. Like he's sitting there, dude, in like a long sleeve like sweatshirt with a jersey on. I'm like, are you? It's on Instagram. What is his problem, Dean? What are you doing?
Well, you know, Dave, Andre the Giant was the 8th wonder of the world. Then there's this kid Dave Tessie. He's the 9th wonder of the world. I think Dean is the 10th wonder of the world. He's a savage.
Dude, he's like Gumby. Like, you just can't, just like, he just bends all over the place, and like, he's so malleable in life. He gets by.
He didn't tell me, I didn't realize he went back to the van. I kind of just assumed it after a while, but I don't remember him telling me when he was leaving.
Well, he got back to the van.
I feel like he left at halftime.
Yeah, I saw him at halftime in the bathroom. He's like, oh, I'm out of here. It's one thing for me to sit through this and freeze it out, but I'm like, my girl shouldn't. And
yeah, Steph was struggling too.
Yeah, and she came with the Snickerdoodles cookies and some other goodness cookies, and thank you. So, won my heart with that. So, anyways, get through this a little quicker for us here. So Dean leaves, Paul bounces. He was eating nachos the whole way, still soggy, and still eating them as he got to the van that was properly being warmed up by Dean and Steph. Nice. I don't know what they did in there before. Don't want to know. Anyways. Are you done? Can I carry on?
Sorry.
Don't die on me. So, I have in my notes here. I love to say in my notes. It sounds so pro. Tolbert fumble. Like, absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid. And then, you showed up around, I think, after that. Maybe I flagged you down. Maybe it was after the bathroom I flagged you down. Well, I did flag you down.
As I told you that Paul was leaving, and I asked you what the plan was, and he said you were staying. So I mean, you're the ride, so I'm not. Obviously, I'm gonna stick around. I was just scared that you guys were gonna all be at the van just waiting for me. So then I went pee, and then I came back, and that's when I started getting really fucking cold. Because all that snow melts, and then my pants were soaked. My jacket was literally frozen. I had my hands in like a fist. It was my gloves, and the fingers of the gloves were all frozen. Oh, it was bad.
Yeah, your jacket ended up just like freezing hard. I have a picture of it in my phone.
Yeah.
So as far as the game went, Webb threw an interception with a minute 16 left, and
well, can we talk about Trey White real quick?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay, I know everyone keeps talking about like the bill, bringing culture to the Bills, and I'm not talking about like. It's not like I feel like he's not. It's not like the bullshit that McDermott says. Like I feel like he gets Buffalo, man, because he's like dancing and like I'm like dead. I'm not feeling this game at all, and he starts dancing and trying to get the crowd going, and it kind of gave me a second life for a little bit. So I love this kid, man. It's a pleasure watching him play, and I think he gets it. I think he likes playing here, and he could be one of those. I don't want to jinx him or put the Maluka on it, but he could be one of those like Freddie Jackson types that just embraces the city and the city loves him.
I can't agree more, man. That kid had so much energy. The team was having fun out there loose, and then you hear, you see Trey White the whole time after getting his head rocked. I was stoked to hear that the hood is going to go after Gronk. I am stoked. Go fuck him up. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. Like, seriously. Because that dude disrespected Buffalo.
Yeah.
And for Trey White to come out and embrace the city after a dude disrespected his own hometown to hitting their first round draft pick like that, way after the play, his eyes get all big. If that's what Roy Rage does, then I think somebody needs to be drug tested. So, it's like, man, that kid, he really does get it. And I will say, I want to talk about that long-ass drive that the Colts had, and they did get away with the rub route again on their first touchdown, okay? So, or their only touchdown, I should say. And I will say, I really was hoping that for once they would play like some press man of some sort in the snow and just jam these guys somehow. Because they're giving away cushions on important third downs and 2 fourth downs to convert for that touchdown drive.
Yeah.
That, like, I'm like, dude, they got to switch out of this cover. And it looked like they were playing some cover 3, where they're playing so far off the ball that it's not Trey White's fault or somebody else, but like it's a different game. If you're backpedaled, which the players were saying, Deontay Thompson said it was like playing in sand. How are you going to react to make the tackle when you give a guy that much cushion? Because he ain't going to be able to move just as much as you. And if you get your hands on him, and the refs are very lax this game about that stuff, I just thought, again, the coaching almost ruined this game. And that's before we even talk about the punt.
They're killing us with screens, weren't they? I feel like when they finally started throwing the ball a little bit, that's when they actually started moving the chains.
Were just like short passes, and they were all like passes into the flat. And that's all on a zone defense, what you're going to get. And for them not to switch out of it was just absolutely incredible to me. And, you know, I'm sure I'll talk about with Kevin, and maybe he can correct me. But it's just really annoying that the coaching decisions. Then you get to overtime, and let's just talk about that, man. He was just
we can't talk about overtime yet. When we still have to talk about that timeout, that wasted timeout that we used.
Oh yeah. Talk about it.
Okay, so they're driving down, and I want to say there's like a minute 13 left. They're driving. Indy calls a timeout. We have 2 timeouts left. I think they're kind of deciding if they wanted to. Maybe it was they're deciding they wanted to go for the 2-point conversion, or they wanted to go for the extra point. I can't remember, but so Indy calls a timeout, and then we immediately call a timeout after that.
Yeah.
So what happens if they? I mean, luckily there's a offensive pass interference on the 2-point conversion. But what if that was good? You know, what if it was good? So we'd be down 8-7 and have 1 timeout left with like a minute 15, minute 13 left instead of 2 timeouts. It made no sense.
I think they're in over their head.
Yeah, I feel like he faked the funk to get where he is right now, and then slowly with team climbed up the ladder, and now he's doesn't know what to do. We have an offensive coordinator that's garbage. I mean, I feel like the only saving grace of our team was probably Leslie Frazier.
Is it though? Because the defensive calls, which I was just treading, like I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Towards the end of the game, but you know, we only gave up 7 points.
Dude, at least with Rex, you can get me on board with injuries. You can get me on board that Aaron Williams tanked that Bills defensively, okay? Because we see what good safety play does on this Bills team, and I'll tell you, man. You know, defensively, if you look at the points, they did fine. Okay, they did fine. It's just that one drive where it's like, guys,
in crunch time,
really, like, you got to really look at this. And then for, you know, we're watching this game and they're just calling timeout to timeout. We're like, guys, can you get this over with? And, you know, they make that 2-point conversion, and I'm like swearing up and down, I can't effing believe this. How are they going to go out on the field with a minute X left? And, Mike Soup Dog, Scott Campbell's dad there, he's like, tell me, hold on, shut up. And he's giving me the wave because he listened to Murph and Kels on the radio, and then we hear, oh, shoot, they're getting the flag because of the rub route. You know, the pick play they got away with before.
That went from like me thinking we're going to lose the game. Now they have to take a 42-yard extra point. Like, there's a good chance he's going to miss this, and we might win the game that way. So that was a crazy little roller coaster there.
Oh, it was awful. And then using I had to pee really bad, so I wasn't thinking right, and I go, Joe Wett throws the interception. I'm like, well, that's it, boys, I'm out. That's it. And I just got up, and I'm like, F this. And
we followed you.
And you followed. I went pee, and then I like felt so bad. I'm like, yo, man, I gotta watch this game. I gotta watch this game. I can't, like, we're this far. And you trooped it out with me, and we stood in the tunnel. And
that's when I think it got really cold too. I don't know, maybe that like just that's where the wind was going, but I feel like I got even colder in there.
Mm-hmm. Which didn't make sense because I thought it was warmer. But I think what happens is when we sit in one spot, you know, we kind of get you get used to your little nester, man. You got no leaks of air. But you know what happens is that snow builds up, and we're just progressively getting soaked. Like even the brand new Bills gloves I bought, they got soaked.
Yeah, you tried to give them to me, and they were like, "Well, I'm not dealing with this."
No, those were my first pair. The second pair I had were soaked too. I mean, it was I mean, people were just soaked. Literally like 4 inches on people's heads. Like I had to shake you down a few times, and so McDermott punts on his own 41, and you and I are like, it's not like the in-game experience is very similar to playing a live. When you're at the stadium, it's very similar if you're a musician to playing a live show, which is like when you're the band, you don't hear what the crowd hears. It's very quiet on stage. It can be, believe it or not, like very quiet, and you might not hear everything, right? So for us as fans, shit, the scoreboard froze up for the fantasy leaders. I hate that I can't see what the bill stats are the whole time. I don't care about anything but really the bill stats and everything else. Like I need bill stats. I'm watching a Bills damn game. I want to see bill stats on the Jumbotron. Like, is that rocket science? I don't care about Drew Brees and his fantasy points. I need to see somewhere bill stats. I want to see what's going on. I want to do my calculations, do all this stuff outside of the game to get into Sunday. And so the game is totally different, but I go to you, dude, is he really punting from there? We couldn't really see where he was. Like, damn, that really is on the other side of the 50, huh? Because I was like 10, 20, 30. Like, what was going through your head when we were freezing our balls off?
Well, it's just a tie doesn't do shit for us. We need to win at this point. So we need to win. In my head, we need to win 4 out of 5, or 4 out of 5 to have a chance to make the playoffs. And what are you? You're playing safe now? I mean, I don't know. It just didn't make sense.
Yeah, it's just, again, another coach. If people didn't listen to it, number 164, Bills coaching points to execute a must-win versus Colts. I really did not talk much at all about the game. I mean, I did, but it wasn't like deep. It was more like, if the Bills can get out of their own way coaching-wise, I think they can win. We've seen players on this team play better than they have, and I just think that, again, they just get in their own way. And even in the snowy game, a conservative coach in Pagano, both another defensive guy, almost Jedi mind tricks himself. Pretty much he loses a game for punting the ball back to the Bills. And it's like, what are you doing? Just everybody in Buffalo will love you if you play with heart. You know what I mean?
Oh, we forgot to talk about Peterman. Peterman was trying to play with heart, and he dove instead of sliding, and got a concussion. So I respect him playing hard, but you gotta know when to. If it was like a first down, maybe you gotta know when to delay or lay out like that.
No, I feel you.
Especially with Tyrod hurt, so we have Joe Webb, a special teamer, who's your backup.
No, exactly. And you know what? Joe Webb didn't play bad. He made plays. Deontay Thompson with a great grab.
Yeah. They had a couple good sneaks, too. I feel like they should have just kept doing, like, option plays. He seemed to be able to move the ball a little bit when they were doing that.
So, anyways, I literally have 3% on this battery here. Let's bulldoze through this. So, we survived. We freaking, froze our asses off. We see the kick. We are we see the Shady McCoy run that touchdown, and after that nice Deontay Thompson catch, and we were just flipping out of all people to get the rock. My favorite player, LaShawn McCoy, to get that ball. I've been a fan of his forever, and I mean, what a feeling. We survived it. We walked out. We stopped at the tailgate to get the backpack for Dean. We saw Riley.
You gave me the scarf gloves.
Yep, I gave you the scarf gloves, which was to save the day.
Coming full circle with the scarves. Yeah, my gloves are soaked, and I just wrapped up each hand with a scarf, and
I took 2 scarves and I put them in my hoodie, little hand warmer thing, and so they were hopefully toasty for you.
It was great.
A crucial catch, we would say, a crucial play. And anyway, so we walk back, and then there's Dean, and I back up, and immediately, just as I'm about to go off the driveway, Dean goes, after this other guy got stuck at the driveway, "Oh, we're going to be stuck now, too." And here I go, slide off the driveway, and I go, "Dean, fucking now." And I just start losing it, and I get stuck, and then
Yeah, but how nice was that that van because Dean warmed it up because he was there for like a whole half of football.
Yeah, well, he could have maybe
nice.
If he saw Tim Avery get stuck, maybe he could have been a little more proactive about the situation. Because Tim got stuck, I guess, in the driveway too.
Yeah.
So
and there was a truck stuck in there too when we got there also.
Yeah. So essentially, dude, Dean actually saved the day because he's like, "Hey, why don't we get two guys that push in the front?" Because we got stuck on the driveway, and come to find out my tires in the van aren't as good as I thought in the back. And I did a little burnout to warm up the tires, and I took my ice pick, which I carried to scrape drywall drips off floor. I took my ice pick to the driveway at the end so I would have some traction on the way out so I didn't slide. But all in all, thank you to the Wolverine guy. I forgot his name.
Yeah,
but
Wolverine helped out big time.
Killer dude, awesome guy, man. Great family. They let me in to go to the bathroom earlier in the night.
Were they not letting people park there? They just made a special rule for us because we're the number one customer.
I guess we're number one now, but yeah, pretty much like they weren't even gonna open up shop. So thank you to your driveway, Dean. Sorry I had to pretty much threaten you and just be like, "Dude, you're gonna be a piece of shit," whatever. Sorry I had to chew him out a little bit. But we got results because then he saved the play with some great engineering moves. And sometimes, man, when that Keystone Light and Jenny that kicks in, it just hits this different frequency for Dean that nobody knows. Jeff, anything else on this?
No, I mean it's about Dean. It's always funny, in the front seat because they're always in the way back and we're in the front usually, and you just hear Stephanie go, "Dean, stop!" because he just keeps going. He's an animal.
Yeah, he really is, man. I love him to death. He feels like a family member. Yeah,
I feel sorry for anyone who sits in front of him because that is the loudest kid I've ever seen at a game.
Dude, take him. I'm thinking like, man, it'll be great to sit with all you guys. Nope. Have Jeff the handler up there with him. Fuck that. He tries to come down and I'll be like, "Dean, no. Get out of here." But all right, dude, I really got to wrap up. Hell of a drive, hell of a game, hell of a win. The punt almost blew it. We'll get into the coaching shit more with Kevin Masseri. But Jeff, we've seen too many Bills games go the wrong way. And I think these coaches really, if you have heart and you're honest, the fan base will love you. But if you're going to have all this coach speak, that's going to wear off. And people in Buffalo are going to call you on your bullshit. Do you not agree with that?
Yeah, no, I think it's starting now, and I don't want a new. I mean, I don't want to go through a new coaching process where they do the same fucking shit every time and get rid of players, get clean house. I want some consistency, but I don't know. I'm not sold on this is the right guy.
Yeah, especially from what they show us.
I mean, honestly, dude, and I told you this on Sunday, and I kind of want Marone back. It's weird. I mean, not Nathaniel Hackett, but maybe Marone.
Dude, I know. We were looking at each other in the tunnel, and you're like, "Dude, I miss Marone." I'm like, "Yeah." I never thought I would say that, but maybe he was right. And again, it's reevaluating Marone. He would have had Fitzpatrick here. That's what Nathaniel Hackett said. Okay, and you would have had Stevie Johnson back, so you have that chemistry. You would have had Fred Jackson back as Spiller. You have. Those four guys would have gone to the coach and said, "Hey, man, this ain't going to work." You know what I mean? Like they try to do here, and maybe the offense would have picked up. I said, Whaley does, "No, we're going to get our franchise guy because of Knicks." And, that front office debacle. And not for nothing, the reason we don't want coaching changes in Buffalo is because we don't want the same shit to keep happening, rinse, repeat. And here we go. Now, this time we actually got all the talent that we had. Now I'm concerned because these guys are playing okay. I mean, Sammy Watkins has 7 touchdowns. Darius has only played, I guess, 29 snaps, Tasker said, but in Jacksonville. But, Murph brought up the argument that, he's playing good. So it's come on. I don't trust these guys with my next quarterback. I don't trust these guys with my 2 high first-round draft picks. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
or maybe they're not high, but first-round picks,
Well, we have two of them. I mean, we got. I just the whole Whaley thing. I think he got the raw deal, and I thought he was a.
Oh, we need a guy who's
great.
good with the media. Oh, really? Well, it sounds like the people you have that handle the media don't understand Buffalo. You know, or you know what I mean? Like they don't understand Buffalo. And dude, it is what it is, man. I wish McDermott the best because I think he has a good head on. At the same time, I don't know because he just denies everything, and it's like he's burying people or something. You know, he doesn't talk. It's like he's great at not talking.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, we got Miami next. Miami's putting a beat down on the Patriots. Last time I checked, it was like 27 to like 7 or something like that. Maybe
Good,
13.
lay out the blueprint, baby.
I don't know, man. I kind of want the Patriots to win their next 2 games, so we might get their B squad.
Dude, I might lose you any minute, but we were talking playoffs, and they are technically. So if I lose you, Jeff, I'll just wrap this up. But we were arguing that pretty much, you know, I want Kansas City to lose, and I want the Chargers because they won to win out against the Bills. You know, I want them to win a division to cause like a gap because if they end up with similar records due to tiebreakers, I don't want the Chargers to be going against us in the wild card. I guess is the easiest way to explain it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I agree with you there, but just rooting for an AFC team against an NFC team didn't make sense to me.
True. I know, and I agree. I get what you're saying. Okay,
it's tough too because the freaking Ravens, they got the freaking Browns and the 49ers and the Bengals, so there's a good chance the Ravens are gonna win their last 3 games.
I hope they do, man. And that team is like, it's awful.
What?
Are you there?
You hope the Ravens win their next 3 games?
No, I'm saying like, I don't know what to think out of that team for the next 3 games, the Ravens, because they're very.
They almost beat Pittsburgh last night.
Ben Roethlisberger, thank you. That's the only time you'll ever hear that from me, Roethlisberger. So, all right, Jeff, I really got to wrap this up. I love you.
Good talking to you. Love you too.
All right, follow. Where are you? Full Circle Attack everywhere. Is that it?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, Instagram is probably the way to go. Facebook,
yeah,
Jeff Knight.
just find the post that he tags me in, or the Instagram picture that he cut me out of.
Whatever. That was an accident. So I have 2 pictures of the same, but one has Jeff, one doesn't, from leaving the driveway before we go to Buffalo and die. It's pretty cool. But yeah. So Jeff, thank you, man. Hell of a time. We survived, and this has been the Discovery Channel's I Survived.
Yeah, we'll see you next Sunday.
The Bills Blizzard. All right, Jeff. Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude. Good talking to you.
See you, bud. Definitely.
Later.
Peace. All right, so that's the ever powerful Jeff Knight. I love Jeff. He's great. Dear friend of mine. We bonded over podcasting after, pretty much New York hardcore bands. So, Jeff Knight and I go way back. And pretty cool that over pretty much, Death Squad, Joe Rogan podcast stuff, we became tighter because of our perspectives. And Jeff's a pretty legit dude, honestly. He's got his stuff together. And a good objective sounding board in your life. So, Jeff, thanks for being on, man. As always, follow along. NumbBillsFan.com has all of our content. Make sure you follow Grandstand Sports Network. Trying to get the network more follows on Instagram, Twitter. Okay. And shoot them a follow. Some good podcasts, Lockdown Podcasts. Kevin Masseri from Lockdown Bills comes on. And I love having him come on. And he'll be on soon. So tune in for that if you want more of an analytical breakdown here. Lastly, PunchdrunkSports.com. Follow them along at PunchdRunk on Twitter. Subscribe to their podcast. And I'm your host, David Palermo. Thank you for listening and following along. And to the people who saw the Instagram, just tuned in for the first time, thank you so much. Really cool to see the video hit different spots. I never thought that would happen. So, really follow along. If you want some good content, really WGR, I think, nailed it. Chopin Bulldog crushed your post game. I thought Howard and Jeremy's talking points and the coaches were very on point. And you get to hear the players like Eric Wood and Deontay Thompson talking to, some interviews on WGR if you check out their app. Or they have RSS feeds as well. And there's one called Bills and Football, and that usually, for Bills and Football shows up. So all those shows have RSS feeds. If you subscribe to the podcast series, you can also subscribe to them. So as I SSSS my way out of here, follow along, Numb Bills fan everywhere. See ya.